Okay, I do kind of have an intro. We'll do this.
Okay.
Oh, do you have what's yours?
Brian, do you remember Frankie Muniz?
Oh, that's kind of what mine
Oh,
was.
is it Cody Banks?
Yeah. So
Next time, please stick with a tricycle.
here. This is from an ad for this film. Kyle, do you like Harry Potter?
Oh, God.
Agent Cody Banks? Rush Hour? Johnny English?
How are those
The
last-
Dark Knight? You answered
Is
yes.
that seriously? Oh my God.
That's seriously in an advertisement for this movie. I wasn't making up those. Like the first one, you're like, Harry Potter. Sure. Agent Cody
There's
Banks.
fucking magic in this movie.
Spot on. The Dark Knight? What? If you answered yes to any of these films, then you need to check out Pocketman and Cargoboy. Dark Knight? What? Rush Hour? What? All right. Hello, welcome back to the 70th episode of Good Bad Media LLC. Show we watch terrible movies, tell you you should too. I'm your host, Mr. Brian Shogo. The other host.
I'm not happy. Already.
Not either.
It's mostly comparing themselves to the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. That one I could not believe, especially because when this movie was made in like 2018, Kingsman was out. Like
The Dark Knight had been out for a decade.
yeah, well, and it has literally nothing to do with it. Like there's zero comparisons other than like punching, I guess. Hey you. I was like Kingsman is out. That is what this movie is. It's like a terrible version of Kingsman.
Kingsman had time travel.
Yeah, and minus any of the charm and comedy of Kingsman. Like it's all it is.
Gentlemen, be ready for anything.
So last week we did Catwoman. This one was a fan recommendation. It's available on Amazon Prime if you want to watch it yourself. Probably don't want to do that. It's called, as I said before, Pocketman and Cargoboy.
Fantastic title.
So this, let me just read from 2018. Let me just read the summary here from IMDb, or the one sentence synopsis. Teenage secret agents must travel to the past and stop an evil doctor from creating a virus that wipes out all life in the future. So just to be clear, that part of the plot is the last 10 minutes of this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is an hour and 30-minute long movie. All of that happens in the last 15 minutes.
What was worse? That all happened in the last 10 minutes, or that they set up a sequel?
Oh, they made a sequel, Kyle.
What have I done?
There are... There are production stills. Boom, 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 boom. Look at him on the set. Pocketman and Cargoboy, Volume 2. Guess what it's called, Kyle? He's not even in the building anymore. The Rise of Sir Porpington, or whatever the fuck that shithead's name is.
Lord Bottom Law or something like that?
Whatever.
Bottom Fellow?
Yeah, Sir something or another. I gotta get my... Sure.
My brain has not stopped functioning like that since Battlefield Earth. That's the last time. Like, I can't even make a connection. Billy Owens was bad enough, but at least it was like, you know, clearly just a knockoff. The fact that they made a sequel to this.
One skirt.
Wow.
Like, Billy Owens at least has Roddy Piper.
Your soul was lost in the river!
Not anymore. He's kind of dead. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't finish the trilogy. But this has literally, in addition to not having like actors, I put that in giant quotes.
Yeah.
The fact that they made a sequel to this is unbelievable. And that's not saying that the only reason they made Billy Owens shouldn't have had a sequel.
No.
But
no, Billy Owens, I'm still convinced, was all shot at once. Well, we haven't done the sequel yet.
Oh, by the way, we had a couple of shots where we were out in the desert and they had like cactuses and stuff at this town that they're in. Where did I say they shot this at?
Tempe, Arizona.
No, Scottsdale. And I was right. They actually shot this in Scottsdale.
It doesn't surprise me. So yeah, they made a sequel. I was gonna save that till the end, but it's I don't know what it's called, but so I looked up one of the main actors and I found the main actor, not the kid, but the Jaden or whatever his name is. I found his Facebook actor page and he has stills from like a month ago of when they wrapped shooting on Pocketman and Cargoboy. Dose, baby! It's got all the same actors. They all came back. And it has the guy, sir, what is his fucking name? It's the dumbest name. Longbottom? That's it. Professor Longbottom, I think.
We do list the criminals in order of danger, so that our agents know and understand what they're up against. Pocketman, could you start with 3, please?
Number 3, Sir Longbottom.
Also, this estimated budget, $21,000.
That does not surprise me at all.
No, not at all. 4 out of 10 on IMDb. Yep, that's about right. Actually, it's a little generous, but so it opens up. We have a secret agent, Jaden, Jaden, in a flaming hat. Kyle, I need to talk about this stupid fucking flaming hat.
The entire time, and the only time that one of the other actors in the film was like, "This thing is
Diane." Yeah.
Yes, when she's like, "This is stupid," is when the wedding, and she just throws the hat.
Throws it off.
This is stupid.
She takes it off him and throws it away. And I was waiting the whole movie for an explanation about why this secret agent is wearing a Hot Wheels hat.
You don't get one.
You get no explanation. They're just like, fuck you. He wears a Hot Wheels hat because he does. Like, he's a secret agent for Section 67 or whatever, the split off super secret branch of the CIA.
But I work for Section 62.
Is that like CIA?
We're a special service that branched out from the CIA in the late 70s. We operate outside the normal protocol.
And he wears the dumbest baseball cap I've ever seen. Yes. I don't understand so this movie is listed as an action comedy kids film or something, which it's not any of those things really, but
it's barely action.
Hang on.
It's not much comedy.
No.
Body language is nonverbal, comma, and everyone uses it to communicate. Questions?
Yeah.
No, good. Moving on to prepositions. A preposition is a relationship between a noun and a pronoun. It's mostly used with a noun. Be quiet!
But like, that's one of those things where it's like, is that supposed to be funny? It's not there's no joke there. He just wears a dumb hat. And then at the end, his girlfriend gets rid of it because it looks stupid. Then he puts it back on. And he's wearing it in the sequel. I saw it in the stills. He's wearing it. So they're opening scene. They're looking for an emerald, and they pull out a phone, and we get our first CG shot of this emerald like coming out of an iPhone. And he's like,
you knew. Oh, you were like, oh.
My scanner's picking up a massive reading of chromium and vanadium. The emerald has to be that way.
And I love it. This is the only time they do it, but there's an action scene where I think they realized that the scene was taking too long as a guy walks from one side of the shot to the other, so they just jump cut it like 4 times.
Remember, the mission is to get in and get the emerald back.
And we're introduced to Ed Pyro Ed, right? I think is his name.
Clue.
He's the blonde guy with
he looks like a professional wrestler.
Yeah, or an extra from Ember Days. He could have fit in to Ember Days.
True.
With his braided hair and his gauged earrings, his gauged ears. But he's there. He has the emerald, I guess, that they're trying to get. So they kill a few guys. And that's another thing I wasn't ready for is this is a kids movie. Like you would think it's supposed to be like a kids movie.
Yeah.
There's a headshot. Blood splattered on the wall.
Boom.
And I was like, wait a second, what are we doing? Okay, who is this for now?
It's for PG-13, all right?
I guess.
I don't know if you can get away with that.
I was about to say, you're riding the line with PG-13. We see him shoot a guy in the head. And then, so they get into the fight with Pyro Ed or whatever, and he has a wrist flamethrower.
It's pretty dope.
That is pretty fucking amazing. CG flames.
It at least looks better than Neil Breen's. Blowtorch.
True. It looks better than Neil Breen's Blowtorch, which, spoilers, this movie has some potential Neil Breen tie-ins that I want to talk about at some point. I'm not convinced that this movie doesn't take place in the Breenaverse, but we'll talk about it.
Okay. If you're gonna tell me there's a sequel and you're gonna tease me with Breenaverse,
what if Breen showed up as the villain in the sequel to Pocketman and Cargoboy? That's the crossover we
and then
need.
it only has to end with Neil Breen also showing up as the hero to stop Neil Breen.
Yeah.
I'm unstoppable and I fully accept these powers.
So he has a wrist flamethrower and they have a great speech off. They speech at each other and the villain's like, we both have fires burning deep inside of us, but mine's brighter.
We both have fires burning deep inside. That's our drive, our passion. The difference being is my fire burns brighter.
So fucking good. And he just after they finally our guy Jaden wins the fight, and even after the villain is knocked out, he's still like on the ground, screaming monologues at him.
One day, sooner than later.
That's how you know you are a great supervillain, is when you're monologuing next to unconsciousness.
Yeah, after you've already lost. And then we get a ripoff of the Mission Impossible credits, like with the... Except it's clearly like a screensaver from a Windows screensaver over the credits. And then the title comes in, and like I said, Pocketman and Cargoboy, which is... We'll figure out, eventually, we'll find out why that name, and it's a reason. It is a reason.
Yours should be Pocketman.
Ew, why?
And then, so we get introduced to the first kid walking down the street, and we don't know his deal at this point. He's just walking down the street, thirsty, drinking a bottle of water. It's empty, and he just throws it on the street. And I'm like, hey, don't litter, you shithead.
That sucks. I was thirsty.
People start pollution. People can stop it.
And then, but he's hungry, and he smells some food, and he monologues about how his nose smells some food, and he runs into the backyard of some house.
I'm also hungry. My nose tells me someone close by is grilling.
Where exactly one burger is being grilled.
The guy's grilling a single burger.
And by the way, did you know who the chef
director
was? Yeah.
Fuck yeah, it is. So he's like he's like a homeless kid. And then we're reintroduced to Jaden getting out of the shower. Dude is tatted up and jacked. This dude, I'm a little afraid to joke on his movie because he could find me and beat me up. He is jacked. He walks into work late and he explains why we're gonna have kid spies for like 10 minutes. This office scene is the main character stumbling over his lines.
Yes.
Oh my God, he stumbles over his lines so many times.
A couple weeks ago, you asked some of us to come up with ideas for the future. I thought a lot about this topic and I came up with many different ideas.
Oh, it's really good.
This building will be where they also train and live, at least temporarily.
And that tells you one of two things. Either you need to even out the dialogue more.
Yeah.
Or the sky sucks.
Could be both. Porque no las dos, Kyle. And so his idea for the future of this agency is to bring kids in because duh.
But I personally think the best one is kids.
You have 10 minutes.
Teaching kids what we as agents already know could be a golden weapon. I mean, who would ever guess a kid is secretly a government agent?
Because he said children are our future. And I love the guy his boss that he's pitching this to is was this
before or after the talent show portion of the pageant? That's the kind of fucking answer you get.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because children are our future, boss.
After all, children are the future. This world will be theirs one day.
Okay. That's not what I asked you, but I asked why are we having kids spies? Children are our future is a generic nothing answer, dude.
And by the way, nothing better than taking children who are like, what, 14, 15?
Yeah, they're like
that?
teens.
They don't even have the driver's license.
No.
And you're putting them in situations where they could die. They are exposed to hazardous situations. And you're like, yeah, just give them a loaded gun.
Yeah, he's like, well, here's the reason it's a great idea is because they'll never expect it. The villains will never expect kids.
I mean, who would ever guess a kid is secretly a government agent?
It's like, all right. I don't know about that. I mean, sure, I guess they won't expect it, but it still seems like a terrible idea. And I love the boss is like, the guy's like, well, I'll train them at a base. I'll train them, and his boss is like, sounds like you'll need a base.
This building will be where they also train and live, at least temporarily.
You mean a base?
Like a kid's base.
Like a kid's base?
And he's like, actually, I was thinking a house.
I describe it more like a house.
And I was like, yeah, you mean like a house, like a normal house in a normal neighborhood, like maybe a house you guys have already rented for shooting this movie in, like that kind of house, maybe?
You're right. They'll be having wild parties.
That won't happen.
Why? Who's going to step up and be the one to stop it?
Me.
So he's like, the kids, these teenagers, they're going to live with me. Boss. I volunteer as tribute.
Are we going to be using your house as the base?
If that's what it takes, I have room.
It's like, oh boy. This whole scene's really great because it's very wooden acting.
You've known me for over 8 years. I love my job, I work as hard as I possibly can, and I'm always on time.
And he's like flubbing every line. And I love the boss goes, well, this seems highly unlikely that this would cause a disaster. And I'm like...
Seems highly unlikely that this could cause a disaster, though.
Literally the opposite of that. Yes. Literally the opposite of what you're saying.
Well, they even prove themselves like not responsible. They take their math teacher and drop him off in History X.
Let's go, buddy. Let's go, buddy.
Also, we established that our guy's clumsy for no reason.
I'll clean this up.
He knocks over all the folders after he's leaving the scene, but it means nothing and nothing comes of it, and I don't understand why it happened. He's like, oops, I'll get those. And then I was like, oh, is the clumsiness going to be like a thing that matters? Nope. That just the only take they had was him knocking the folders down.
If you are a clumsy spy, you pull out your gun, fumble around, it falls out of your hand, lands, and then misfires, killing the bad guy.
Perfect. Would have been great. But they don't ever even bring that, like, it's the only time in the whole movie where anything like that happens. And I'm like, that clearly just had to be the only take they had of him leaving the office. That's all the only explanation. Then we get dinner with his BFF who lives with him, his buddy.
The bromance.
Yeah, Mark,
bromance.
I think is his name.
So you're really gonna do this, huh? Even though everyone thinks you shouldn't?
And he's like, I don't think this kid plan will work.
This opening scene to this dinner is the most infuriating thing I've ever seen. Where you have one person talking off camera.
You love the framing?
Like this,
don't you love the framing?
Like this, and then the other person is talking to them in the mirror. And it's like, why are you doing this? This does not even look interesting.
No, it doesn't. That's the thing. It's like it's a common kind of thing these days. It's more of a modern technique to break the lead space rule. Like, so we shoot this with lead room on our shots. It's pretty common nowadays, and like Mr. Robot made a big thing. But like lots of TV shows will shoot, and lots of movies will shoot where you don't have lead, where they're breaking that rule where, because it's kind of claustrophobic and intentionally makes you a little bit uneasy, and you can use that to affect for certain things. This one, there's no point to this. They just did it because they set up their camera and they're like, ooh, I can see him in the mirror. Cool, let's just leave it here. It's like, not great. And then so they're talking about the two kids that they're going to get for this plan. One of them is Kyle.
Who is it?
Sam Johnson's son.
Really?
Kyle.
You make an appearance in this film.
Yay.
Whose dad is a special agent, so he already has some basic training?
Maybe, but with Sam being an agent, Kyle already has some basic training.
No,
Is what they say?
but he doesn't.
He does not, and why would he? Just because his dad's a spy doesn't mean he's training his son to be a fucking spy. Okay.
Have you contacted him?
Yeah. It's just important to find the right kids. I'm also concerned about finding a math teacher.
Because they're going to be kids, they also have to teach them while they're there. They can't just teach them to be spies. They got to teach them normal school stuff. So he's talking about the teachers he's going to bring in. And Mark's like, what about Diane?
Did you talk to Diane?
Of course. But I'm already using her for something else.
You know, Diane.
Perhaps, I don't know, studying the female body?
And he's like, oh, yeah, she's going to come in to teach history, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's like, but I got to still find a math teacher. And also they're like, and then Mark's like, Diane should teach Diane's Body 101. And I was like,
oh man, look at these guys. They're jokers. They're them clowns. They're throwing it up.
Yeah, but for reals, you would be all over that class, though.
Hell yeah.
I can see it now. Diane's Body 101.
So then he interviews the math teacher. We're introduced to the math teacher.
So yes, I really like math. I mean, there's just so much you can do with it. It being math, just math. Addition, multiplication, division, subtraction. So yeah, I like math.
Every one of these, every one of these, two of these teachers, the ones that aren't Diane, this math teacher and the English teacher are 100% the friends of like a writer or director who were like, their funniest friends. Spoilers, they're not funny.
No.
Do you want to see my calculator?
Not right now. Tell me about some jobs you previously had.
Well, I was a student. I mean, I don't know if that counts. I mean, I think it should count because it was very, very hard.
But it was like whoever the director's funniest friends at his Scottsdale, Arizona improv class.
Yes.
That's who he put in this.
I need my teachers to be strict and willing to discipline the foreign exchange students, you know?
I understand. Now you shut your mouth before I staple it shut. This is a classroom and you will learn to sit.
Also, I was trying to figure out if this was supposed to be a joke. So he's interviewing this math teacher, and he says the kids are foreign exchange students, which means he's not telling this math teacher that this is like a secret spy school.
Yeah, I thought that was the same for him and the literature.
Yeah, I think so.
They didn't know.
Yeah, I think they don't know. But the whole hilarious thing is, and I don't know if this is supposed to be a joke or just a complete oversight, he's saying all this, he's telling him and like making this lie up to the guy the whole time. He's wearing his Section 67 secret agent name tag on his chest. And I'm like, wait. Okay, great. Awesome.
Oh, what's that? I need to glue your ass to the seat? Because I will. All right? I'm not afraid to get your mother involved. I have the authority to keep you here till after 4, and I'm not afraid to use it.
So then the kid from earlier who stole the burger breaks into Secret Agent Jaden's house.
Fantastically, which is like, it's not really so much a break-in. He hopped a fence.
Mm-hmm. Gets inside. Jaden leaves his wallet stuffed with cash laying on the end table in his upstairs hallway, like you do. And the kid takes it, and they get into a fist fight. And this kid is going toe-to-toe with a secret agent. With
somebody who has been trained to kill people with his thumb.
You would imagine. Yeah. That's what you expect. And this 13-year-old kid, is holding his own against him.
He's basically a street urchin.
He is. He said he's like never had a home. He's just raised himself on the streets. But he can martial arts fight with a literal
of course,
Jason Bourne.
Being raised on the street, he has to have a pristine white t-shirt.
White tee. Yeah, just got it out of the bag. White tee. He goes toe to toe, but eventually he beats him. And he ties him up in his basement. And I was like, hey, secret agent man, I know you're a secret agent, but I got a life pro tip for you. Don't tie up preteens in your basement.
So what's your name, kid?
Don't do it. Just don't do that.
Wait, I'm not supposed to.
So he comes down to interrogate him, and he's like, "Where'd you learn how to fight?" And the kid just goes, "Around."
So where'd you learn to fight like that?
Around, I guess.
And that's all the information we get about where this kid learned how to fight as good as a secret agent.
Around. Really? I don't buy it.
I have to protect myself. There's a lot of messed up things in this world.
They end up in the kitchen, or he ends up at the kitchen talking to his roommate at one point, and his roommate is drinking a very clearly empty PBR tall boy, because every time he sets it down, it goes, clink!
Clink!
So he hit you?
They also have Christmas decorations up, and I was like, oh, it's just one of those secret agents that decorates for Christmas. That's nice. And then, so they start the school up. They get the other guy in, so everybody's there. He's kind of briefing the teachers about the schedule.
Good afternoon. We'll start with this.
And I love he's got a little whiteboard set up on like a stool. And I love it. This is my favorite thing about this. He goes, we'll start with this. We'll call it the bulletin board.
We'll call it the bulletin board.
And I'm like,
yes.
Yeah, man. That's what it is. That's what that is. It's a bulletin board.
We'll call it the bulletin board.
You are definitely the person to be leading this thing.
Yeah, right? He has some lines at times that feel like he was making them up. And they get a little Neil Breeny, and we'll talk about him.
The main reason the war happened was due to hacking. I say World War III, but I'm aware that most people such as yourself didn't even know the war took place.
So we're basically X-Men, but spies, right? Sure.
Yep, basically. Pretty much. Also, yes.
Welcome to headquarters. I'll be showing you the trainees, students, dormitories, and classrooms.
Yeah, that's another thing they didn't mention in that ad is X-Men. They mentioned Dark Knight, but they didn't mention X-Men. It's fucking there's so many things.
Don't you remember in the Dark Knight where they took kids off the street and turned them into secret agents?
I removed all the chairs because I think it's easier to teach a class that won't fall asleep.
And so the first classroom is an arcade room.
In front here is A4.
Oh, A4 is my classroom. Yeah.
They have NBA Jam. I was jealous.
And nothing works?
No, nothing works. They do get one working eventually, though. A3 is where they're going to teach English, I think, and that's clearly the kitchen.
In here is A3. Rochelle, this is where you'll be teaching literature.
And so the three classes, they're going to teach them math, history, and literature. And I'm like, maybe you would want to teach secret agents also like science, political theory, speech, foreign language, like any of these things. No.
Please check the board at least twice a day. I'll be making changes and also posting up when meetings and special activities take place.
Also, Mark is the PE coach, and I was like, Mark weighs 75 pounds soaking wet. Get the fuck out of here. Mark is their hand-to-hand combat teacher.
Oh, boy.
He looks like a fucking nerd. I was like, I could beat up Mark. Come on.
Don't lose focus.
What does that even mean?
And this is where he starts telling him that he's going to tell him government secrets.
I'll be teaching you and Trevor weapons tech and government secrets.
He sits him down.
Like, this is his pitch to them, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I know this is going to suck. You're going to have to learn, like, math and stuff. But you know what? I'm going to teach you about Area 51 and the missing Watergate tapes.
Yep.
I could show you pictures from inside of Area 51. Or maybe you would like to listen to the missing 18 and a half minutes of the Watergate tapes.
the 18 minutes of the missing minutes of the Watergate tapes. It's like, that kid does not care. He's like, oh, cool.
Sure, I might be interested in Area 51 just because, like, show me some alien autopsies. But you think nobody's even nobody like these kids of this people of this age haven't even listened to the regular water tape, let alone the missing 18 minutes.
No. And I love, he just says, the government has a lot of secrets. Government secrets.
So we're going to show you all of them.
Our government has kept many secrets from its citizens.
I'm like, Neil? Is that you? Is that you in there, Neil? Neil ghostwrite this script? Neil?
Our government has kept many secrets from its citizens.
Isn't that corrupt?
And I love, he's like, those secrets are an important part of our country. Some of them are super secret for secret reasons, and other ones keep us safe.
Some are terrible things, and some are truly to benefit the country.
Okay, great.
It was in the credits, catering, eat and eats.
I gotta check now. Shit. Neil Breen catered and Ghost wrote the script. I love the idea of Neil there for the, like, he's there doing the catering, and just every now and then he comes onto the set and he's like, I got some notes, you guys. Why don't we do this one again and just say government secrets a few times?
There we go.
But the purpose of this class isn't just to learn cool government secrets, but why they're a secret in the first place. Open your textbook.
And he gives him a government secrets textbook. He hands him a textbook. He's like, here's your textbook full of government secrets. I'm like, that seems like a mistake. That seems like a mistake to print out a textbook full of government secrets, but all right.
We have internet, podcasts, emails, smartphones, and so much more. That is important to how this information is stored. And by who.
Like, just give him a giant yellow envelope. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Not a textbook, but okay, great, awesome. Again, the budget for this movie, $21,000. They could not splurge any amount on manila envelopes, Kyle.
No, my budget was $400, so yeah.
So, what are the shadows of society doing around its brightest stars? Hoping to bask in our light?
Please, Sam, you'd be lucky to let off a dim glow. Oh, Nathan, this is Robert Zimmerman. He's a university photographer, honor student, and student body suck-up.
Then we kind of get a montage of them going to classes. It's very boring. That's probably the biggest sin this movie commits. It's boring for a lot of it. It's very boring, for most of the film.
Because they do the setup, and then within like 15 minutes, they kind of get it all set up. Like, this is what's going to happen. We have kids, and they're now in this thing. And then for 30 straight minutes, nothing happens.
Nothing happens. They go to class and joke around.
You're late! Why? More so, how is that possible?
I got hurt.
I don't care.
Also, during one of the class montages, they're in math class, and Diane's like, do I have too much cleavage, boys? Are you popping boners over there, boys? And they're like, no. Maybe.
Am I close to revealing?
No.
You're young men, I'm a woman. Is it too much cleavage? What?
Whoa. No.
Awkward. Trevor, I can see your eyes. And where they're looking.
But here's the thing. You know it's always bad when the script has to reinforce the hotness of the actress.
They say so many times, she's so hot. I mean, she's an attractive woman, but there are numerous times they're like, man, that Diane smoke show.
I've been dressing a little more modestly for class. I think I'm a walking distraction for the boys, but after class I do like to change.
Way to go, you're making her feel comfortable. Sorry, but have you seen her? Kind of hard to ignore.
Let me tell you.
Does this script have its own inferiority complex?
I know. So, you know what's funny though? Diane, actually pretty good actress. And in terms of everybody in the movie, she's probably easily the best actor in the whole fucking film.
I remember my first day like it was yesterday. I got there early and was just about to sit down. And you come running through the door like you've got a pack of wolves on you. And your face is all bloody and your shirt is torn.
That was the day of my first fight with Pyro Ed.
First of many, yeah.
I was like, she's actually not bad. She's pretty good at times. They go out for gun training after that. And this is a great scene. So I love, he's like, you guys ever shot a gun? They're like, no. And he's like, here are all the parts.
Slide. Rear sight. Muzzle. Trigger guard. trigger, grip, magazine release.
So and then he hands them a gun, and the kids are like, those targets, and we haven't seen the targets yet. And one of the kids goes, those targets aren't for us, are they? And he says it weird. And I'm like,
those targets aren't for us, are they? They are.
What do they like tie up neighborhood kids against a fence post and we're gonna like make them shoot them or something? And no, but the camera pans over and it's just
heard
like
of William Tell.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh shit, what are the targets gonna be? They're just normal targets. But so this is what I was talking about. So we were talking about earlier. Okay, so they're in the middle of the fucking desert, Kyle, right? They're in the middle of the fucking desert. In the shot where he's explaining the gun, behind them is a mountain. Is a fucking desert mountain, all right?
Yes.
Fucking mountain and empty desert.
You are in the desert. There is nothing that way for miles.
Nothing. Just a mountain. An empty mountain. So, the camera pans to the targets. Where are the targets,
They
Kyle?
are hooked up. They are at a fence. They are taped to a fence, shooting into the house.
Into the house they live in! And the pool! The swimming pool is behind it, and they are literally shooting at their house. And I'm like, why did you, who thought that was a good, literally just turn around, man. The entire desert is behind you. Okay.
Just shoot into even a rock wall. Like, yeah, worst case, you got a ricochet maybe, but.
No, the house is behind the bullets. And it's not even like, it would be one thing if it was like, a solid fence that we couldn't see through, and so like, but you could see the house behind it, but you could like lie and say like there's like a hill, a dirt hill behind. It's a fucking a cast iron fence with giant like.
And you're gonna tell me that with as cheap as land is out there, that somebody's not gonna have a shooting range or like a country club with a shooting range
or
that you
anything
could shoot at for like a day?
Yeah, anything. It's nope. I'm just gonna shoot at the house.
Dude!
Because we're super secret awesome spies. It's awesome.
That was awesome!
There's another little scene with the English teacher, which I think the only director's note this English teacher got was talk more with your neck and your head.
Body language is nonverbal, and everyone uses it to communicate. The correct fix would be body language is nonverbal, comma, and everyone uses it to communicate. Questions?
Because she's like, you kids are so, pay attention, stop.
Between a noun and a pronoun. A noun to show location, like beside, in, or on. It can also be used to show motion, emotion, direction, location.
I love it.
Like she came in strong, and then they won 11.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, was that so? Well, who's the teacher? It's me. You will listen to me if you have ears.
Then we almost get boobs in this kids movie. They walk in, Jaden walks in on Diane changing, and she's got her bra. I was like, what? Again, what is age group? I guess a teenage movie. I guess it's supposed to be like a PG-13 film is what they're going
for all those 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
What were you doing in there? I didn't mean to interrupt.
Don't worry about it. I've been dressing a little more modestly for class.
He also explains now that there's time travel.
Yes!
Believe what you want, but time travel's real.
Where did this come out of?
By the way, we can time travel. You know how we do it? With this flashlight.
It's possible because of this device. The shatter stick.
The shatter stick?
Called the time shatter stick?
No,
shatter stick.
They tried to explain it. They tried to explain it once. Only 4 of these are in existence, which is set up for the sequel.
Don't be shocked, but time travel is slightly complicated. I'll be going into more detail on the shatter stick as well as discussing quantum entanglement.
And I love he goes, turn to page 45.
Page 45.
Apparently page 45 of this textbook is BT Dubs, time travel, super real. It's like, what is... he also explains at this point, also, World War III happened.
World War III was fought over a 2-year period. The main reason the war happened was due to hacking.
But it happened because of hacking.
Because
of hacking, Kyle. Neil Breen started World War III in this movie.
If we had another World War, like after this, would then be World War IV? And people would ask, "What happened with World War III? Where'd that go?"
Yeah, only 8. No,
you're asking too many questions.
Only section 67 would know. them and Neil Breen, who started it with his hacking. This takes place after Fateful Findings, when he exposes all the government secrets. He starts World War III, and then this movie takes place. Guaranteed, this is in the Breenaverse. I'm calling it right now. There's a lot of exposition.
They have time travel in the Breenaverse.
They do. I'm telling you, it all adds up. It all adds up. If Neil Breen shows up with a shatter stick in one of his movies, and it's like... so it's a fucking flashlight, and I love... he says it's shatter stick. It stands for Space Harnessing and Time Travel Enabling Remote.
Shatter stands for Space Harnessing and Time Travel Enabling Remote.
And he also says it has many knobs and buttons.
As you can see, this device has many knobs and buttons. Don't be shocked.
It has many knobs and buttons.
If that's not the greatest definition I've ever heard of time travel.
It has many knobs
It's right up there with wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey things.
Yeah, it has many knobs and buttons.
As you can see, this device has many knobs and buttons.
And then he goes, and I love he's talking to Diane at one point, and he's like, I'm thinking of adding a third secret agent. A girl.
I'm thinking about adding a third agent to the program.
Another kid.
Yeah, maybe a girl.
I want to bring a young girl into this house. And Diane's like, okay.
So what do you think?
I think it's a great idea.
It's so fucking weird.
Maybe a girl.
And then they fuck in the kitchen.
I heard a rumor you wore that dress just for me.
I wore this dress because it's easy to take off.
Give everybody nicknames.
Let's come up with nicknames for everyone.
She's Painkiller because her name's Bear, and also because she's a pain and has a killer bod.
What about Miss Bear?
How about Painkiller?
Painkiller? Ah, I get it.
Yeah, 'cause she's a pain, but also has killer good looks.
Is what they say. What do they call? They call the one guy hacky something fucking vaguely racist. They're like hacky sacky wacky.
Mark should have a kung fu master name. Something that sounds Chinese.
Is that racist?
Is calling him Hakawaki Chung racist?
No.
So this is where we get the explanation of their names. He's Pocketman because...
Why, Brian? Why is he Pocketman?
Because every time they do laundry, his pockets are inside out.
Yours should be Pocketman.
Ew, why?
Because every time I do laundry, your pockets are inside out.
It's the best reason for a nickname I think I've ever heard.
Why am I here?
Guess why the other guy's name is Cargoboy, Kyle.
Because he always wears cargo shorts.
If I'm Pocketman, then you're Cargo Boy.
Cargo Boy?
If we're basing our nicknames off of pants.
You do wear cargo shorts a lot.
Those are some secret agent spy names.
And I'm not gonna lie, in most of this movie, he wears like black cargo shorts.
Yeah.
With like a suit top.
Yeah.
And I swear, I thought the shorts were the suit shorts that LeBron James wore.
There's a great special radio report where...
Radio report on what? On what is displaying this? What is playing this radio report?
Is anything?
I don't know. I think it was his phone or something.
Good afternoon. If you are just tuning in, this is a national alert.
Oh, was it?
By the way, always a great thing of the time. Imagine this film 10 years from now. Their phone has a pop socket on the back of it.
Oh, does it?
And I'm like, oh god, 10 years from now, that's gonna be like...
What kind of dork would have a pop socket on their fucking phone? They're dorks.
I would never ruin the beauty that is this.
If I had a good, bad, or bad one, but I got matching, it's space on space, man. But yeah, I have a pop socket. Fuck you. It keeps it so when I'm laying in bed, I can... It's like the pin in Seinfeld where you can ride upside down.
It writes upside down. They use this in space. A lot of times I write in bed, and I have to turn and lean on my elbow to make the pen work.
It's very practical, Kyle. Shut the fuck up. So the special report, I love, it's some kid, it sounds like the morning news report at a middle school. The kid's like, special report. Reports of people dropping dead are coming from everywhere.
Good afternoon. If you are just tuning in, this is a national alert. Reports of people dropping dead are coming from everywhere.
Hello, this is Pocketman, and this is your morning announcements.
Yeah. I my favorite part of it. Reports of people dropping dead are coming from everywhere. Just everywhere. Not around the world, not for, everywhere.
Thanks.
And they say it's possible that it is Dr. Phantom's disease.
Who?
Government officials claim it could be related to Dr. Phantom's disease.
Remember that guy we mentioned earlier?
We talked about the most dangerous people, like Longfellow and
Dr. Phantom.
Number 2, Dr. Colin Phantom.
Dr. Colin Phantom is an ex-agent. He was credited with the creation of a deadly disease.
Oh my god. I'm so afraid to go full red letter there.
Oh my god. So Dr. Phantom has a disease that he made years ago, and they think it's coming back and killing people. This is when Lindsay shows up as the new secret agent, the third secret agent.
So, Lindsay, do you have any questions for me?
I don't think so. I really like this program you've created. When can I start?
And our little main pocket boy has a crush on her.
Who is she? I don't know. She's kind of cute. Kind of cute. She's beautiful.
We're like 45 to 50 minutes into this movie, introducing a new character and also being like, hey, look, there's the bad guy, but we don't get to see him for like another 30 minutes.
Yep. Nope, not yet. This is where he stops time and throws his math teacher 6 years into the past, I guess is what happens.
One skirt.
Wow. Wow. Let's go, buddy. Let's go, buddy.
It's the visuals of this occurring are nonsense. He just like shatters the picture frame, like the video. He like shatters it and then freezes time and walks up and shatters another hole and throws the math teacher through that hole and then comes back and sits down and the math teacher's gone and they're like, whatever, fuck it.
Where did Mr. Barf go?
He was just there.
What did you do?
There's some more fighting. One of them, Kyle, elbows the chick in her tit.
Whoa, hey, now let's not do that.
And then the lights start flickering. And this is like the climax almost.
What's happening?
The lights start flickering.
This dangerous virus, in addition to being something that you can shoot with CIA guns.
It's the smoke monster from Lost.
Yes, it is.
Go!
It also affects electricity.
Yeah. The lights start flickering and the Jaden is immediately like, run. And I'm like, because your light bulb's going out? Like, what?
What's happening?
Run now!
It did have a cool thing, though. The coolest thing about all this was the fact that the house they rented for this movie shoot has that safe room.
Get in there. Do not open this door unless Jay gives you permission. Do you understand?
So they run from this monster. They shoot. Diane shoots at it a lot for no reason. And these are clearly fucking Nerf guns that have been painted.
Yes.
And I love our Jaden, after he gets the kids in the safe room, he hits the thing on his phone and it blows a hole in the ceiling and a Nerf gun falls out of the ceiling. And he catches it.
Could you imagine how awesome that would be to just be anywhere you are in your house and just hit a button and have a weapon thrown to you?
Launch out of, but it has to come out of the wall or the ceiling.
It's not like it opens up and drops down. No, there's like plaster pulling down.
It's so fucking amazing. It blows a hole in his ceiling and a Nerf. I remember seeing this one. It's like a battery powered Nerf gun that has like a drum, a barrel, like He shoots, and again, he's shooting at smoke. This disease is, it's like smoke. And they shoot at it, but they can't kill it, and they all die.
This is terrible.
Hecky wacky.
What? He's dead.
And all their teachers are dead, except Jaden is not quite dead, but he is dying.
Come on, let's get you up.
No. I'm fine, Pocketman.
And he says, nothing can help me, and then he monologues for like 5 minutes.
It's like, dude, you are really not convincing us that you're dead right now.
Yeah.
The disease has a very interesting chemical design. Once it sucks all the life from the victim's body, it leaves the victim and can detect the nearest living organism.
So this disease kills on contact.
Remember the other day in class we spoke about the phantom disease?
You're telling me a disease caused this?
Kills on contact, remember?
The disease is clearly still in the air. This whole time this scene's happening, there's black, billowy smoke everywhere, and that's what the disease is. But apparently it's not gonna kill our kid.
You can't stop the disease, but you can stop the creator of the disease.
He says you can't stop the disease, but you can stop the creator. So you gotta go back in time with the shatter stick and kill Dr. Phantom.
We can't do this without you. I don't even know where to find him or how far back to travel.
I do. I can tell you that much. And then you're on your own.
All right, telling this to 14-year-olds. All right, I need you to take this gun. You're gonna run across a guy you've never met. I want you to
Who hasn't done anything evil yet.
I want you to put 2 rounds into his chest.
Yeah. He even says, like, he's even like, by the way,
yeah, just
shades of gray.
Kill him.
You may have to kill him. You're gonna feel weird about it. Just fucking kill him.
Just roll with it. Just
Yeah.
roll with it, man.
Yeah.
Don't forget shades of gray. You may have to kill to stop him.
They find Dr. Barf. He's like out of it, and he doesn't know why he's there.
He's been wandering around 6 years in the past
for like a month.
Are you all right?
Kyle, Lindsay, I'm so happy to see you.
I'm here too.
Can you imagine if he found himself?
Yes, if he fucked his past self, time would blow up.
To be about sex.
Yeah, it had to be, Kyle. He had to go back in time and fuck himself, and then time would blow up.
You all right?
No, I seem to be terribly confused.
So they're getting ready for the final mission. They hotwire a car and drive it to this warehouse where they supposedly know. Again, none of this, the plot is just like, oh, the movie's almost over. Better wrap all this shit up in the last 10 minutes and not explain how any of it happens. They just show up at this guy's warehouse where he is, Dr. Phantom. And they get there and there's light jazzy music playing.
Almost died.
What, did you die?
I thought Cruella DeVille was a crazy woman driver.
And we are introduced to a man in what I thought was a chef's jacket.
You thought correctly. The villain of this movie, much like in Dracula 3000 or whatever, is wearing a chef's coat. Now, it's not the villain in that one, but they're like space outfits. The old captain is wearing a chef's jacket. He is 100% wearing a chef's jacket as like the villain. And I think they thought it looked like a mad scientist jacket, but no, it is a chef's jacket.
What do you know about the Phantom disease?
Never heard of it. Is that a gun that I see?
And so he made a super soldier serum, but then they closed his lab down or something.
I was hired by the agency to create a new serum for the military. They wanted faster progress. So my funding was pulled, my laboratory shut down. I was left with nothing but my work.
Agent Jaden closed his lab down, and now this guy's mad about it and wants to kill people. The motivation here, very sketchy. Very sketchy motivation here.
And the one who made the call to pull my funding, to close down my lab, is one of the agency's finest. My best friend, Jaden.
And then it's just two adults beating the shit out of kids for like 5 minutes.
You've been well trained for such a young agent.
And I was like, my favorite, the way I wish this movie ended was just those two adults beat two kids to death, and then the movie ends, and I'm like,
all right.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day...
He takes the super soldier serum.
Yes.
And he grabs the main guy. And also this whole fight, all the sound effects are way louder than everything.
Yeah, they're
all
ridiculous.
the punch sound effects are like miles louder than everything else. Yeah. But he takes super soldier serum, grabs the I don't even know the main Pocketman, whatever. Yeah, Pocketman. And he's got him and he's holding him by the neck. And she gets the gun. And he's like, I'll crush his neck. And I'm like, not if she shoots you first.
Pew, pew.
Yeah.
I will crush his throat. Shoot him, Lindsay. I trust you.
Well, and I love too, normally in this scene, it would be like a tough shot, you know, like he'd be holding him like here, so it would be like a really small. Well, he's holding him down on the ground, and his entire torso and head is completely exposed.
Well, it's not like there's a lot of size comparison. This is a fully grown adult man.
Yeah.
And a little 14-year-old
and
kid.
The girl with the gun is about as far from me to you away. I'm like, there's no way she couldn't hit him.
But she shoots him like 3 times.
Yeah.
And the audio, the sound that you hear is the next line is, "Did you get him?"
You think you got him?
You think you got him? And as he's saying that, as before the line finishes, you hear...
The cut is to this guy, blood coming out of his mouth.
And the sound
as he is bleeding to death.
And he goes...
You think you got him?
And I'm like, yeah! I think you got him!
You think you got him?
What have you done?
The sound effect of him retching and dying as the kid's like, did you get him? It's fucking hilarious. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
You didn't give us a choice.
I'm not bad. I just wanted to... I want people to know.
And then, so they go back in time. They go back to their current time, and everybody's alive again. And Jaden walks up, and he's like, so, Kyle, or Cargo Boy, you gonna be able to DJ my wedding on Saturday?
Oh yeah, almost forgot. Cargo Boy, you still able to DJ for the wedding this weekend?
What? For what?
What? Yeah.
Butterfly effect. When we killed Dr. Phantom, it changed what happened, and that means Diane and him fell in love.
Yeah, somehow killing Dr. Phantom made Jaden and Diane fall in love earlier.
Well, we did it. You did it. We all did it.
So this, he's still wearing the hat at the fucking wedding until she rips it off his fucking head.
Thank you.
Oh, I gotta talk about when he says, they're like, wedding? What wedding? And Jaden looks at him and goes, mine and Diane's.
Whose wedding? Mine and Diane's.
He does a psychopath smile. He goes, mine and Diane's. That's how he smiles at. He's like, and I'm like, what? What is wrong with you?
I am human person.
Yeah. Oh, so he does the fucking Arthur smile from Ben and Arthur where he's like,
get some Skittles?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the grocery store. Do you wanna go with me?
I love, so they're gonna do their first dance at this wedding, and she's wearing, the bride Diane is wearing like a white like wedding jacket thing, and they're gonna do their first dance. So she takes it off and she walks over, and we're introduced to Lindsay's mom, the Lindsay secret agent. Her mom and dad are there, I guess, and her mom's standing on the side of the dance floor, and Diane takes her jacket off and walks over to Lindsay and just chucks it at her face.
Come on, boss.
And I'm like, I feel like there may have been some on-set drama that we're not privy to, because it makes no sense in like universe for the character. She like angrily throws her jacket at this woman, and I'm like, there was some tension going on there that we're not aware of.
Come on, boss.
Pocket Man gets to dance with Lindsay, and he kisses her on the cheek, and then the last shot of the movie, it cuts to Cargo Boy, and he's just like, nice.
I don't think you.
And the credits are just still shots from this wedding, which is such a weird choice, which made me rethink this entire movie and go, was this just all an elaborate plan to be able to write off wedding expenses for a movie? Because
that would be insane.
The wedding, here's the thing, $20,000, pretty reasonable amount of money to spend on a wedding. Also, the set decoration, the only time there is any in this entire movie is the wedding. There's like candles and lights and a DJ booth, and I'm like, this is a real weddings reception that they had, and they just wrote, I'm on new movie. Let's see what thing they're writing off in the sequel in a couple years when it comes out.
Need to launder off $5 million in special effects.
The sequel's gonna be their honeymoon. They're gonna go on their honeymoon and film in like the fucking Bahamas.
We need to go super undercover into Jamaica.
Yeah.
Sir? Sir? Sir Longbottom.
What is it now?
Post-credit scene, Mr. Longbottom's back. And he's psychic, I think. He's making a spray can float.
Whoa.
Telekinetic. But he's also can like read her mind, I think.
I guess so.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I don't know.
He kills her and says it's so hard to find good help, because that's not a cliche overused line.
Liar!
It is so hard to find good help.
Then we get really weird drawings of like still
the
shots.
credits are like hand-drawn still shots. It's like our cartoon versions of like them as
Thanks.
That was weird. Anyways, Kyle, this movie's bad.
For every high, Brian, there is a low.
Yeah.
And this was bad.
Yeah, this movie's bad. It looked, the trailer was promising. That's why we did it. Was we were looking through recommendations and we watched the trailer for this one and we were both laughing so much at it.
Looked insane.
Yeah, and then but all the good parts from the trailer, or all the good parts from the movie, are in the trailer.
And they're also within the first like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and the last like 10 minutes. Yeah, and then the middle hour and 10 minutes is nothing.
Literally, as one of my writing professors said, the stuff in the middle is the stuff in the middle.
Yeah. It's rough. I wish it was better than it was, because I guess I wish that about most of the bad movies we do, but something about it, I wanted to enjoy this movie. It seemed charming. It doesn't seem like a cash grab, unless it is the thing I said of, just a write-off for a wedding or something, which it could be, but it doesn't seem like a cash grab. It seems like somebody who just had a bad idea for a movie and then executed it poorly. So real quick, you can support us on Patreon. I have a podcast called This Film So. We're talking about movies that are based on books. Also, we have tpublic.com. Search Good Bad or Bad for t-shirts.
Also, we even have a P.O. Box.
We have a P.O. Box. Just Good Bad Media LLC, and then other stuff that's on the screen. And then that's, until next time, keep watching movies, except don't watch
Pocketman and Cargoboy, because it's weird.
Because it's called Pocketman and Cargoboy.
Which could easily... If that wasn't like a porn name, if that wasn't like a porn title, I don't know what is.
Yeah. If it was called... Nope, yep.